Hi there, Sivaram. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting this essay for you today. I'm very happy to see that you have submitted an essay for review. Great job. Let's take a look and see what you wrote here. Okay, it looks like you submitted your own topic. Some people think that a person improves their intelligence and skills more when doing by individuals. I don't understand that. To what extent do you agree? All right, so something is missing from the task. I suspect that this is doing things on your own versus group work. In any case, let's see if I can figure it out based on what you wrote. Many people believe that learning by themselves, here you need an VES here, has more benefits for their skills development than studying together with other people. Okay. From my perspective, although learning alone, here alone is one word. It's ALONE. This is a totally different expression here. Provides advantages to a person sometimes. It is probably drawbacks for improving several skills too. Okay, your grammar is a problem here. So this whole sentence needs revision. Let's look at it again. From my perspective, although learning alone provides advantages to a person sometimes, it also has drawbacks for improving several skills as well. All right, that's how I would change that. It is therefore a controversial issue. You don't need a comma here. I possibly say that I do not entirely agree with that. Okay, which part? All right, you just told us two things here, that there are some advantages, but there's some drawbacks. So when you refer to that, which part of that do you not agree with? Okay, that's a little confusing. In the following essay, I will explain my opinion with all aspects, this is the wrong word, and elaborate some reason to support the given ideas. Okay, again, there's some vocabulary mistakes here. So in the following essay, I will explain my opinion with evidence to support my ideas. Is probably a nicer, cleaner way of saying this. All right, so it's so far, the impression that your introduction gives is that it has some grammatical and lexical mistakes that could be holding it back from getting a higher score. All right, so one of the things that you definitely want to do is aim for higher accuracy. You see, your introduction does several things, and one of them is that it gives the examiner a kind of approximate area, a neighborhood of where your score might be. So it's really in your best interest to have a strong introduction that is grammatically accurate to impress the examiner and to just kind of have the examiner feeling rather positively about your essay. Let's go on to your body paragraphs. To start with, it can obviously be seen that several advantages probably happen when students do something or learn. I don't understand this, their own requirements. I think you mean when they learn something on their own. I think this is what you mean. Okay. It would be suitable and comfortable to gain various intellectual skills as quickly as they are able to. For example, many students feel more confident when alone. Again, this is not how we spell alone. And they can think or find some ideas more quickly because of the appropriate environment and no interruptions from other people. Therefore, they are able to be more concentrated in what they are doing or thinking. All right, this sentence is a little too long. I would have broken it up into two smaller sentences because when you have these longer sentences, it's easier to make mistakes like this. It's still a complex sentence, even if you had split it into two pieces. So, many students feel more confident when alone, and they can think or find some ideas more quickly. Full stop. This is because of the appropriate environment and no interruptions from other people. Therefore, they're able to be more no, they're able to concentrate more in what they are doing or thinking. Okay, so that's how I would change that. Moreover, many people possibly make decisions more quickly actually, if they have no arguments, S, from another person. As a result, from this reason, they need less time to decide some urgent issues. Okay, again, I'm getting the feeling here that some of the language you're using is not entirely what you would like to express, but the word choice feels a little unnatural, like you probably would like to use different vocabulary to express some of these ideas, but because of maybe some limitations in your vocabulary, you're not able to use the level of precision that you would like. So this is the feeling that I'm getting from this, okay? Alrighty, so let's move on. On the other hand, it is undeniable that learning individually is occasionally risk to face some drawbacks. This is awkward vocabulary. Is occasionally risky as it has some drawbacks. And there are plenty of students who have been struggling while learning by themselves. For instance, when people are facing with some unfamiliar problems, they probably fail to solve those problems due to lack of experience. Thus, it is considerably higher opportunity to handle if they have other people to consult or brainstorm, especially the people who have more experience or knowledge about those issues. Take a look at this sentence. Look where it starts, look where it ends. So it's like 5 lines. It's too long. All right, and it did become heavy and cumbersome, and it was difficult to understand because there were also some mistakes in it. Students then will be more possible to cope, not more possible, they will be more likely. So students then will be more likely to cope with their stressors. Another reason is learning in a group is enjoyable as, this is what you're missing here, as many students not only gain their knowledge, but they can increase their social skills as well. So to summarize, learning in a group is a useful strategy when students need more sociality aspects. All right, I would have just said social aspects, would have been a better word. In conclusion, it can be seen that study, I would say on its own, that's more appropriate here, has both benefits and drawbacks, although it is beneficial in some aspects. All right, check this out. You can't use although and but in the same sentence, so you really just have to pick one. Let's see. It can be seen that study on its own has benefits and drawbacks. Although it is beneficial in some aspects, in my opinion, it depends on what objective or activity people want to do. So here I would have put a full stop, then I would have capitalized, although I would have gotten rid of but. However, if the person is to improve social skills, working in group activities is more beneficial. All right, so again, just to reiterate, it's really grammar that's the issue in this essay. You had some nice ideas, but you need to improve your overall language level in order to get further in the exam, okay? I felt like some of your grammar and your vocabulary, it kept you from expressing yourself as clearly or as maybe precisely as you would have liked. So this is one piece of advice I definitely want you to do. Definitely continue preparing for IELTS, but along with your IELTS preparation, make sure that you're improving your language level. You can do that locally, you can do it online, there are a million ways to do it. But that's something for sure you have to do. And of course, we are here to help you with your IELTS preparation. I think that the online course would be really suitable for you because it's so comprehensive. You get everything, and then you see how essentially you just have to plug in several pieces of information, and then the essay writes itself. So that would be a nice thing for you to work on. All right, so I hope we get to see more of your writing soon. I hope you'll consider working with us again in one of the course options that we have. So best of luck to you, and I look forward to seeing more of your work in the future.